everyone, and especially Devon. So your speech evaluation form here today has 3 sections: you excelled at, you may want to work on, and what you can do to challenge yourself. So I'll just go through this. So I think some of the things you excelled at. 1, you had really great movement. I loved how you were moving, on front of the table and behind it, and you were actually physically walking us through, like, oh, I went through the gate, or I had to drive down the street, or I had to turn around, or whatever. I think that's awesome. Definitely keep that up. I love that you brought up your props and kind of showed us actually what you're talking about. That always helps to kind of give us more of that picture of what's happening. So love the props. And just in terms of, your speaking, I thought you had really good speed and tone. I think it's obvious that you're comfortable up in front of people. I know you do this teaching communication to people yourself, so you're really familiar with getting up and talking in front of a group. And just in general, I think the speech was really well organized. You did a good job of kind of starting with, at the beginning of the day, I'm going to be thinking about my outfit, and then thinking about what I can take in my car, and blah, blah, blah. So just, there wasn't too much of like jumping back, like, oh yeah, and I have to do this. I think you did a really good job of starting from the beginning of the day until you get there, and what happens when you get there. So very well organized and good flow. A couple of things just that I thought maybe you could work on. I noted that when you were starting to list out like all the different things that you cannot wear with you, it seemed like you maybe stumbled to remember a little bit, and I think you said like denim twice, so just that could be something to nail down and double check, your rules from the prison, and just to kind of be a little bit more clear going through those, because that's definitely interesting to hear. There were a few times that you were starting your sentences off with so just don't be afraid to pause, and take a moment. I did also notice sometimes it seems like when you're trying to remember something, you kind of look up and look away from the audience, which I think a lot of people do, so totally normal, but just something to work on. And I think, the most resonating part of the speech is your conclusion, just saying, hey, get uncomfortable, challenge yourself, this is when you grow. But it did seem like that was maybe something that wasn't totally thought out, and that you were kind of just going off the cuff, so maybe just nail that down a little bit more of like what message you want to give at the end of your speech as that takeaway. And something that I thought of that you could challenge yourself, one thing I noticed is that there was a part of the speech where you said, like, I buzzed the buzzer, and the guard says, like, hey, who is it? And I thought it was really fun that you kind of were mimicking, like, what the guard would say, and used, like, a different voice for that. So I thought that could be fun to maybe bring in a little bit more of your interactions with the guards, maybe the interactions with the students, and also a little bit more of, like, what's your inner thoughts while you're going through this, and even changing up your vocal tone a little bit to be like, so this is what the guard said, and I'm thinking, like, oh, I'm scared, or whatever. And so that's just something to maybe challenge yourself a little bit more of bringing in some more about those interactions and what your inner dialogue is. But overall, I think it was really good, and I felt bad because I kind of gave you a lot of 4s and 5s, and I'm like, shoot, I need to give her, like, more room to improve, so I'm going to do that one over. But I look forward to hearing you give the speech again and getting even more perfect with it. And I'll turn it back to our general manager.